In example 4, we explored the concepts of union, intersection, and complement by looking at sets of numbers. Okay, in example 5, we're still going to look at the same ideas, union, intersection, and complement, but we're going to do it pictorially. Okay, so in example 5, you are going to be given a Venn diagram, and you're going to be asked to shade a given region inside of the Venn diagram. Okay, so let's take a look at example 5A. Okay, so you are given a Venn diagram. You see the universe there in the rectangle, and you have sets A and B as part of the universe. Okay, and you are asked to shade in the portion of the Venn diagram represented by A complement intersected with B. Okay, so to do this, okay, I am going to color code here. Okay, so let's start with A complement. Okay, I'm going to put that in yellow. I'm going to shade that in yellow. Okay, so what does A complement mean? Well, we know that A complement means everything in the universe that's not in A. Okay, so everything in the universe that's not in A. So a quick way of thinking about this, okay, this is anything not in A. Okay, so not A. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Venn diagram and I'm going to shade every portion of this rectangle that is not in A. So actually the easiest thing to probably do is start by outlining the circle A. Okay, this is the set A. And I'm trying to do this really carefully so I don't actually go inside of the circle. I'm staying out of the circle. Okay, so here we go. I'm outlining. I'm trying to stay out of the circle. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so again, all I'm trying to do is I am trying to shade everything that's in the rectangle, okay, that is not inside of A. Okay, so give me a second to shade that in. Okay, so hopefully you can see that's what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to opt for a thicker highlighter so this can go a little faster. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're just coloring in everything that is not in A. Okay, so this yellow portion is A complement. And I went a little bit inside the circle. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna get this side and then we'll move on to B. All right, so this is A complement. All right, okay, so the next part of this puzzle, okay, talks about the set B, okay? It's just B itself, okay? So I will put B in purple, okay? So I'm just gonna highlight the whole set B, okay? Okay, so it's just this entire circle. It looks like it's easy to draw on this thing, but it's not. All right, so here we go. We're coloring in B. Okay, so the pieces are color coded. Okay, the yellow portion is A complement. Okay, and the purple portion is B itself. Okay, now let's look at the symbol in the middle. Okay, the symbol in the middle is intersection. Okay, so what does intersection mean? Okay, you're going to want to pick what's in common. Okay, so pick what's in common. Okay, so the final answer, this region A complement intersect B, okay, is going to be where you see yellow and where you see purple. Okay, so you want to, the final answer is the region where the purple and the yellow overlap. Because you want to pick what's in common to both regions, okay? So your answer here, okay, I will go ahead and kind of highlight it in black, or outline it, I should say, in black, okay, is going to be this. When we highlighted the purple, we had part of it turn kind of a reddish color, okay? So it's going to be that part of the universe, okay? So it's going to be this thing that I'm outlining in black, okay? That's going to be the final result here, okay? So this is going to be your answer, okay? All right, so hopefully you can follow all this color coding, okay? And I'll actually put that there. I'll draw a little arrow out that says, hey, this part is A complement intersect B, okay? So that's generally what I do. to do a problem like this, I try to color code it. If I'm intersecting, you know, I'm looking for where I have the colors overlap. And if I'm doing a union, anything that's colored, you join it together. Okay, that's typically what I do. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so in part B, okay, we're again dealing with our sets A and B, okay, in our universe. And this time we're trying to do A complement intersected with B complement, okay? All right, so let's do the same kind of thing, okay? We know what A complement looks like, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that again, okay? So it's gonna be everything that's in the universe that is not an A, okay? So let me see if I can shade it in maybe faster this time. All right, so here we go. Same thing from part A, okay? I'm trying to do this carefully so I don't make a mistake. All right, let me get a smaller highlighter, fill the rest of it in. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, almost there. Okay, so here we go. This is A complement, okay? Everything in the universe that's not an A, okay? And then I'm gonna come back, okay, and I'm gonna do B complement, okay? So this time, this means everything in the universe not in B, okay? And I'll even write that here, okay? We know this means not in A, okay? And this guy means not in B, okay? So I'm going to use purple to do this one, okay? So kind of ignore the fact that the yellow is there, okay? When you're shading in B complement, it's irrelevant what A complement looks like here, okay? So for the purple part, you want to shade everything in the universe that's not in B, okay? So we're going to do sort of the same thing that we did for A, okay? Complement, we're going to shade, basically, I'm looking at this, I'm going to kind of outline the B circle, okay, and then shade everything else around it because I want to leave this circle B out of the mix, okay? So like all of this will be highlighted, okay? All right, so give me a minute and I'm going to shade that in, okay? So again, all I'm doing is I'm shading the part of the rectangle that does not include B. Okay, so I'm putting all of that in purple. All right, so I've got to come back with a smaller highlighter and try to finish the rest of it. Okay, so let me do that. And then we'll talk about the final answer here. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let's see. Here's a smaller highlighter so I can get these little pieces underneath. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right, so the yellow part, okay, it actually, you know, when I came back with the purple, it kind of overwrote some of it, okay? But what I had originally shaded yellow was A complement, and then I came back and I drew in B complement, and that's in purple, okay? So that was everything I shaded in purple, okay? And again, some of the reddish area that you see there, that's where you have both yellow and purple, so it kind of changed color there, okay? So let's think about what our final answer is going to look like, okay? This is a union in the middle, okay? So we want to take the yellow region and union it with the purple region. So remember what union means? You want to join the regions together, okay? This is definitely different than intersection. Intersection means you would pick what the two regions would have in common. So you would be picking where you have both purple and yellow. But here with the union, you're just putting the regions together, okay? You're going to take everything in yellow and combine it with everything in purple, okay? So basically, your answer is going to be wherever you have color, okay? If you have red, that's part of the answer. If you have just purple, that's part of the answer. If you have yellow, that's part of the answer. So basically, it's everything in the rectangle except this little white piece in the middle. That is the answer, okay? So again, I will try to outline this answer in black, okay? So as long as you have color there, okay, because you're just basically, like I said, you're combining the two areas. Okay, so it's going to be anything that has color, because if it was part of the yellow, okay, that means it was part of A complement. If it was part of the purple, okay, that means it was part of B complement. Okay, so as long as it was in one of those regions, or it could be in both, it's fine if it's in both. Okay, then it needs to be in the final answer. Okay, so here's the final answer, and I'll probably just write it in words to make sure you have it. Okay, it's whatever I'm highlighting or putting lines on in black. Okay, so basically this black region, okay, is going to be your A complement union B complement. Okay, so basically I will write out, okay, like I did for above, the final answer is the entire rectangle excluding the white portion. Okay, all right, so that's it. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, so this one, part C, okay, we're going to actually have 3 sets involved, so it's going to be a little more complicated. Every time you tack on a set, it gets a little more difficult. Okay, so we've got A, B, and C inside of our universe. Okay, and we are trying to shade in A complement unioned with B intersect C complement. Okay, all right. When you're doing sets, you still want to follow the order of operations. So we see parentheses. We're going to start with what is inside parentheses. Okay. So what I need to do is inside parentheses, I need to first do B intersected with C complement. I am going to start with C complement. Okay. So again, that means everything in the universe that's not in C. Okay. So I'm going to quickly try to outline everything that's not in C. So I'm going to try to circle C here, okay? And then we're going to shade everything else around it, okay? So here we go. So we're just going to go to our rectangle. Everything else will be included except what's inside of C, okay? So this is going to be C complement. Okay, so let me keep shading. Give me just a second. All right, so here's C complement. All right, so now what we need to do, okay, is we need to intersect this with B, okay? So again, I'm going to go to B, okay? It's just B itself, okay? So we're going to look at that region. I'm going to put it in purple, okay? So you're just shading in the entire set B, okay? And so then we want to intersect these two regions, okay? So we're doing an intersection here, okay? So that's what this symbol is, okay? So that means we want what is in common, okay? So we're going to choose what is in common, okay? So to do that, you want to shade where you have yellow and purple, okay? So in doing that, okay, it's easy to see because when we went over this with the purple shading, okay, anything that was in yellow turned into the reddish color, okay? So the reddish color, okay, so the reddish color that resulted represents where we had yellow and purple, where we had both regions, okay? So that reddish color that I have right here, okay, you can see where my little clicker is hovering, okay? That reddish color, that entire region, that is B intersect C complement, okay? So going forward, okay, we're working with this reddish region, okay? So now we have to go and do the rest of it, okay? We have to do A complement unioned with B intersect C complement, okay? So we know this little portion is the reddish portion, and we need to union it with A complement, okay? So again, A complement is anything not in A, okay? So my final answer, okay, and we can kind of go ahead and do this because we're doing a union here, okay? All this means is now we're going to put together or join the reddish region. Oops, wrote the wrong word there. We're going to put together the reddish region with not A, I guess. Okay, so anything that's not an A, okay, we're going to shade. Okay, so maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Let me think about this for a second. And let's just keep it simple. Let's do what I've been doing. I'm going to put the final answer. I'm going to shade it with black lines. Okay, so I'm going to take anything that's not an A, okay, and I am unioning it. So let's first highlight in black everything that's not an A. Okay, so right now I'm just kind of outlining a complement. Okay, so here's a complement in black. Gotta catch all these little pieces right here. Okay, and then down here. Okay, because anything outside of that A circle is game here. Okay, and then now we have to do the union. Okay, so what I have with the black lines right now, okay, that's A complement, everything not an A. We are going to union it with B intersect C complement. Okay, and we said that is the reddish portion that we found before. Okay, so if you notice this little piece of the reddish part, that's already included in A complement. Okay, and so now we need to tack on this little piece as well. Okay, so anything now that I have in black, okay, that is part of the answer, the final region that is shaded. Okay, so I'm just trying to make it a little more apparent here. Okay, and probably what I will end up doing, okay, because yeah, it may be a little weird to read if you're going back through your notes. Okay, I'm gonna leave when I print out the filled out notes. I am going to leave this page as is, but I'm going to copy it and put it right behind the page. And I'm going to shade in complete black the final answer. Okay, but I'm going to leave this page here because hopefully the initial shadings of how the individual colors worked to get the answer, okay, will help you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I will repost this page with the answer hopefully a little more apparent. Okay, so hopefully this helped you. Okay, if you have a Venn diagram, all I normally do is just take each little piece and try to shade it a different color. And again, try to figure out, you know, if I'm intersecting the two regions, then I'm going to pick out where I have both of the colors. And if I'm unioning those regions, I'm just going to put them together.